Extra, extra, Virgo, read all about it. This is all about you. This is your weekly oracle and tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. There's always an extended reading. This is an energy reading, not a horoscope. So it really is wherever Virgo influences your natal chart or influences your life. So you could be dealing with a Virgo who's going through this. But there's always an extended reading that takes tarot cards and articulates all the energies that we bring up here on YouTube. And you'll get some details. You'll get details and a much more personalized reading through those tarot cards. And it also includes a full romance reading. So if you're looking for your romance reading, it's in the description box. It's part of that extended video. There's a new Virgo video every single week. So if you love this video, like it and share it. And also subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so that you get notified as soon as I upload your favorite content. I do personal readings. That's in the description box below too. The way to get the ball rolling there is email me, bornwithoutboundaries@gmail.com. And I do live readings every single Monday through Friday, every single weekday over on Instagram, Monday through Thursday. So please do join me on Instagram, born_without_boundaries. Let's get into your reading, Virgo. And the way that I do this is we're going to start with your crowning energy, which is going to tell us the sort of mentality of the mood, the feeling of your week. What's going to influence this entire reading, the energy that's going to influence the entire reading. And then the central energy, which is the challenges and what we're working through. And then, of course, the root energy or the grounding energy, which is what's going to hold you down. And what's going to help you out and get you through this. The energy that's going to get you down and help you through this. So, let's get into it. I definitely don't pre-plan the cards. You can see me shuffling the whole time. The whole time. Be at home and truth transcends illusion. So, you've been spending more time with people that you really, really care about. The upside to that is that's exactly what you love to do. And you certainly do love house and home. Absolutely. As much, if not a little bit more than Cancerians. Don't tell them that. But there is a sense of really loving just being in your own space. And I think that's really what it is. There is a certain challenge to that, however, because what starts to come out when you start to spend more time around the people that you love is that you start to get to know more about them. And certain idiosyncrasies come out that do not normally come out because you're normally spending more time away from each other. So there is a sense of, even if it's not about quarantine, though I suspect it is, for most of us it is, if you're spending more time with somebody, you're going to get to know more about the person, right? And they're going to get to know more about you. And more things are going to come out, which means more challenges are going to come up in terms of, okay, well then how do we cope with each other's idiosyncrasies? And how do we cope with each other? And wow, didn't know that about you. And there could be a lot more, as much as we love it and we think going into the situation, yeah, we're spending more time together, this is great. There's also the challenges that come up with spending more time together and that aren't so great, which is learning how much gas somebody passes every day, or learning that, their political views aren't as much like yours as you originally thought they were based on the first conversations that you had as you were getting to know each other. So there is a sense of the more time you spend with each other, the better you get to know each other. And that is a wonderful thing. It's not always an easy thing. And so these cards just tell us that spending that time at home, really showing your true self, which is good, truth, it's truth. But with truth comes, truth. And that's just something that you have to either accept about a person, or if you find that it's hard for you to accept these things about this person, okay, is that impacting how I thought I felt about them? Is it impacting how much time I want to spend with them in the future? All of those things are surrounding you, sort of swarming you now, right? Whereas, wouldn't it be so wonderful if everything was as predicted and you just kind of could go through your day with what you knew before you went into the situation, and everything staying status quo because you already know where to put all those variables. These are the unpredicted variables. These are the variables that are coming out that you could not have predicted because you didn't know they existed. And now they do. This is your energy. Oh, I love you, Wuzzy. I love you, Wuzzy. This is your energy. This is Virgo energy. Something fresh, something new. And it's really interesting. These cards are telling me a story. I usually don't act like this, but I'm gonna roll with it. Oh, it's so beautiful when it's new, isn't it? It's just so pretty. You know, it's like when you move into the new house and the paint is fresh, and then 20 years later, there are little like nails in the walls where you hung pictures and the holes are still there when you move the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, things get rough. But this is a sense of, in the beginning, it was just all in. Somebody, or maybe even you, just wanted to give it your all. Like gung-ho. And this doesn't necessarily have to be your relationship. It could be a situational, right? It could be your job. You were just like gung-ho because things were exciting, because things were fresh, because you had allowed yourself to accept that there were going to be a lot of new variables coming in because it was a new situation. Everything was going to be new. So you had this open mindset, not that there weren't going to be unpredictables, but that it was a wider berth of the amount of unpredictables you were allowing in, because new situations require lots of unknowns coming in. And so you accepted that, and you just were gung-ho, just all in, mindset and mentality. And now and now it's more like nitpicking, because you thought you had all the expecteds in, and those things that are coming in now, it's like you may not be so all in with. Now, could be a relationship that basically you just gave your whole self to. You put your entire person and persona, as well as, the way that you see yourself and your value, just totally gave it over to a relationship. Or a love that, it was probably very unique, not very unique, when you were very young. So we could be talking about a past relationship now, or a relationship you had for a very long time if it's still going on. But this is definitely a relationship that began when you were very young, very naive, and just threw yourself in. Just 100% all in. All in. Let's see how that's going to work for you. No, I think there's another card that needs to. Virgo. Here. Okay. Learn from the past. So this is why this is coming up. Elephants have, memories as good as yours. And they're almost like treasure troves of information based on past experiences. They are the water of the earth. What does that mean? Water is memory. It's emotion and memory. But this is earth sign energy. So this is what the experience, those tangible experiences have taught you throughout the years. And this is Taurus energy, so it's how has it made you stronger, how has it made you more capable, and how has it matured you. So this is about something that happened when you were young, like a young relationship. I'm not talking about young, but like one of your first relationships, your big relationships, the relationship that you went all in with. And like I said, this could be your spouse right now. But this is those memories and what you learned from that, helping to inform this time in your life. Not wanting to make the same mistakes. Could be why you're calling on this energy now, or that this energy is coming out to really make things easier, which is learning from your mistakes. And what did I learn? What did I learn from learning about other people, or what did I learn from being in this circumstance before? What do I know? How do I know how to deal with it better now? This could also be, and the reason why these cards are all coming up is Your current situation is reminding you of a past situation. It's starting to remind you of a past situation more than you like. Because this is a very defensive Taurus energy, a very defensive stance, a very stampede stance of not really feeling that comfortable right now. Either might want to get out or might want to trample over you kind of energy. So this could be that you are reminded of when you went all in your past and how it worked out. And you're like, trigger, red flag. This is Gemini energy. But you know what? This is the central energy. This is it. This is Cancerian energy. This is defensive, blocked, central to your heart, this energy of wanting, shutting down, closing up the hatches to defend yourself and protect yourself. So so it's almost like either you're doing this and you're shutting down to defend yourself and you protect yourself because you find yourself in an unexpected similar situation, situation that you're reminded of or that's brought up some triggers from the past, or somebody has reemerged in your life now and there's a sense of wanting to block it, or not wanting to let it permeate you or get into you. But the fact that you're acting this defensively is telling me that it is affecting you. That's why we put these kind of defenses on that are too heavy for us, because we're scared, because we're too tender, we're too vulnerable still. And so we're trying to block it out with all our might. Just the acceptance of that should teach you and tell you, just the acceptance of that should teach you and tell you, should make things easier for you. You know, fighting what you're remembering or fighting the feelings that are coming up is not helping you. It's actually hurting you and making things heavier for you so that you can't move around as much. This is a reminder, this is Gemini energy, we're in Gemini season. This is a reminder of how powerful communication can be to heal us. Talk about what you're feeling. You don't have to talk to it about the person that you're dealing with. If you're in a long-term relationship, you should be talking to them. Absolutely. Because they're your best friend. Well, they should be. But if not, call up your best friend. Talk. Communication is key right now. Maybe just having somebody to listen to, or just having somebody to talk to will be very cathartic. You know, in other words, it's a tangible way for you to not back down. And you're just like Gemini, you're ruled by Mercury. So talking is a very healing and transformative thing for you. Sharing those feelings, getting them out so they don't control you, so that they're realized and the thoughts are out loud all in front of you and you can make sense of them. But you have to allow that to happen with this lighter energy. This could be communications coming in from somebody, but Gemini energy, usually for me, at least in ways that I interpret the energy, Virgo is more, you're gonna speak something. Gemini energy is more, you're going to listen. You're going to hear. So this could also be saying, instead of backing down and becoming defensive, maybe because this is reminding you of a past situation that hurt you, or because you're uncomfortable with what you're learning about somebody, there's a sense of not speaking, but listening and remaining open to a conversation with that other person. Hearing. Spirit has your back. This is Capricornian energy. Hold on. Capricornian energy. The law, the rules, tradition, the government. Basically what this is saying is what you've already established, what you think is right. Or you're dealing with somebody that has a very draconian way of looking at the world and doesn't like to change or be malleable or flexible. Right? And this kind of person may have a very difficult time articulating what it is they're feeling, which is going to make it even more difficult for you. Because it's not that you're not willing to have the conversation. It's that they won't have it with you. Okay. Co-create with spirit. This is that things are coming out kind of uncontrolled, and a little bit, at least what you see as chaotic. And in other words, things could be getting bad, or there may be bad news to tell. Mostly because maybe this is pent up, or not necessarily bad news, but it's like stuff that's difficult to deal with is coming at you. But it's not necessarily coming at you in a controlled way where somebody is actively communicating with you on the other side, listening and responding and actively working through things with you. It's a sense of just the information being delivered to you, and now you have to deal with it. And it's like, it's pestering. It won't leave you alone. It won't stop coming at you. So it feels like to you, this is bad luck. It feels like to you, it's a bad sign. But Raven's not really a bad sign. Raven is the truth. And that's why a lot of people run from Raven and don't like it, because they deliver hard truths. And those hard truths are the ones that we strengthen the veil against the most. And so when they come through, they're hardest for us to accept. And in this situation, the thing that's hard to accept, based on the other cards, is the issues with the relationship or the issues with the situation. Because overwhelmingly, you may not want to see the red flag, but it's still flapping in your face. Yeah, this is Piscean energy equated to the moon card. This is going into your grounding energy. Trust in what you understand. Trust in those messages. Like, in other words, you know that not everything is being told to you. You know that there's more to come. And this is a good place to be, because now if you're expecting it, you can be prepared for it. That will help you. Take the lead. Don't wait for it all to come out yourself. Nip this in the butt and move forward. Start the communication and trust in your intuition. A lot of times, Virgo, you will know something weeks, months, years before it happens, but you'll deny it. And you'll almost rationalize it away because you don't want to deal with it. But you know it. I find Virgos to be one of the most intuitive signs. But they bury their intuition because it's not comfortable. This is get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with those intuitive understandings that are coming out. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And that's the way that you will have a leg up on this. And then we have, there is always enough, very Piscean energy, Pisces. So accepting, non-judgmental. Don't let those blocks get in your way of judging. Is this good? Is this bad? Is this right? Is this wrong? It is. That's all you need to accept. You need to accept that it is. And that's the way that you can get a leg up on this. Accepting that it is, not putting a label or putting it in a box of this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. This is what is. It's not making me comfortable. How do I go about getting comfortable with it? And that's the way you deal with the situation. Now, this is interesting because you have two Piscean cards and take the lead. So you could be dealing with a Pisces, but you're definitely dealing with Piscean energy, which may feel chaotic for you because it's not defined, it's undefined. But this is the kind of energy that is delivering those messages to you, that's somehow telling you. That kind of psychic, intuitive energy is somehow telling you or leading you to the place that will lead to resolution. Hold on. I'm going to flip the camera around so that you can look at the cards. There's your whole spread. And the most interesting energy for me, I don't know for you, you can see the central energy is being blocked, being guarded, not really wanting to deal with this. And I feel like there's a lot of you out there that are suppressing what you intuitively already know. But what you intuitively already know is your way out. It is your way through, and it's actually a lot more solid than you know, because this is not about solid ground. This is about psyche and intuition. And you have to trust yours. You have to. That's why it's in the grounding energy. Spirit is communicating to you through your psyche and intuition. You know, you're almost ignoring like some sort of, it could be a spiritual connection, could be an ancestor, could be a spiritual guide, angels, whatever you believe in. There's that, they're delivering you the message because they see how to help you. They're trying to tell you something. If you don't want to hear it, the problem is going to get worse. You're putting a great burden on yourself because this truth has got to be dealt with. It's got to be accepted. That's the only way it can be dealt with. Let's get further into tarot because I think details will be much appreciated in this situation. Okay, and of course we're going to do your romance reading too. That link is below, Virgo. I'll see you guys over there.